Happy Friday, Tallahassee. This is student meteorologist Chris Malve here with your Friday edition of FSU weather. Right now, we're going to be taking a live look here at Doak Campbell Stadium. You can see the sun is out, plenty of sunshine. Pretty warm today, though. Only a few scattered clouds here on our live camera there. But we are seeing we are pretty hot today, sitting at 89 degrees there. Definitely a bit of a scorcher for this time of year. But we're going to be looking at our current temperatures here. We're sitting at mostly the higher 80s there. We're at 89 there in Quincy and also 87 degrees here in Bainbridge. But as we take a look at our local radar, just completely clear conditions, nothing to worry about. No clouds to really give us any relief from that heat. And for tonight's headlines, we're going to continue to see many of those temperatures near 90 degrees continue. How will this continue through the rest of April? And we also have a special guest tonight, FSU alum Dr. Jake Karstens. All that and more on FSU Weather. That's right. Happy Friday. This is student meteorologist Chris Malve.
And this is student meteorologist Peter Etz. It has been pretty hot today, Chris.
It definitely has. I was walking to class earlier today. I was definitely sweating, especially going to my climatology class this afternoon.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to stay that way through the weekend. So any plans for this weekend, Chris?
Well, I'm actually going to be going to the spring game tomorrow. I'm going to be playing with the world-renowned Florida State University Marching Chiefs. So I'm super excited to be supporting our football team. But you definitely need to put on some sunscreen and stay hydrated tomorrow, as we're going to be seeing those temperatures near 90 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be really hot out there. So if you are going to be going to the spring game, put on some sunscreen, but it's a perfect day to go somewhere else, maybe hang out by the pool. I might be going to Wakulla Springs tomorrow, so that's another good option for something you can do as we get these warmer temperatures as we get into summer.
Absolutely. It's just looking like a wonderful start to our weekend here in the Big Bend region. Just not many clouds to be worried about, just plenty of sunshine. A little bit hot, though. But Peter, what is going on in Tallahassee?
As you can see, these current temperatures really, really hot today. It's 89 degrees in Tallahassee. On the coast, you do have that 10-degree temperature difference between inland and on the coast, so that water is really helping to keep things a little bit cooler on the coast. But other than that, it is really hot, and these temperatures are going to stay high for foreseeable future. Current dew points. Again, these are also really high right now. It is more humid down by the coast, which makes up for those cooler temperatures. The humidity is a little more oppressive than it is here inland, but it is still really hot and really humid. So it's not a super comfortable atmosphere right now. But local radar, you can see that there's really not anything going on. It's clear skies and maybe a little bit of showers off in the Gulf, but really it's just beautiful clear skies today. And that is going to continue overnight, but we are going to see some clouds start to roll in, and then Saturday afternoon, as you can see, a lot of storms and rain pass to our north, and then another round of rain that might be coming through on Sunday. Most of it does stay to our north in Georgia, so that might be something that we don't get anything from, but it is certainly something to keep an eye out for as we head into the weekend. And you can see that rainfall forecast as well. That rain comes through late Saturday and then again on Sunday, but the chances of seeing anything significant in the Florida Panhandle, not super high, at least over here in Tallahassee. A little bit further east, you might get some rain, but really nothing to talk about for here. College Town forecast, it's going to be, temperatures are going to cool down a little bit as we get into the overnight hours. It is going to be clear skies, so those temperatures will drop a little bit. But then as we get into the early morning, we are going to see those clouds rolling in, and so that's going to keep temperatures a little bit higher as we get into the morning. So 67 degrees late tonight. Saturday hiking, if you're going to be going hiking tomorrow, as I said, I might be in Wakulla Springs. It's going to be 66 degrees at 8 a.m., but then it's going to heat up quick. So 87 degrees by the mid-afternoon. So if you're going out, make sure you have that water with you. Make sure you have that sunscreen because it is going to be very, very hot and sunny. Sunday dog walking forecast. Here we have a beautiful look at Storm, the dog. We might be seeing some storms on Sunday, as you can see in that forecast, but those clouds and rain probably not going to be impacting us that much. It is something you have to keep an eye out for, but in general, green paws is going to be great dog walking conditions, so you can make sure to take your dog on a walk Sunday morning. And then as we look at the week ahead, tomorrow, hazy, hot, humid. That is how it's going to be. Chance of rain and thunderstorms on Sunday, and then it's going to be nice and warm the rest of the week. But Ryan, what does it look like in the rest of Florida?
The rest of Florida is similar, where it's kind of hot and it's going to be hot, but we're getting better, right? So 79 over in Pensacola right now, 83 degrees in Tampa, 89 over in Jacksonville, and 82 Miami Beach. Look at that over in Miami Beach. Can I go there? I want to be there right now at that Miami Beach location where it's absolutely gorgeous right now. Current temperatures across the state, some spots are just doggone hot. 90 degrees in Orlando right now, 81 in West Palm, 82 over in Miami, 81 Key West, and then also up to 89 degrees in Jacksonville. Man, that is just uncomfortably hot, and just shows that we're getting back into it. We've got north wind in Jacksonville and Tallahassee, and then 15-mile-per-hour wind over in Tampa, and that south wind kind of adding to the heat effect over in West Palm Beach and Miami, 14-mile-per-hour gusto. So it is a little bit windy to keep you comfortable, but that humidity is getting up there, further and further up there as we start to work our way and inch our way closer and closer to summer. That uncomfortable summer Florida feeling is getting closer and closer to us. But our future our radar right now is nice and quiet. We do have a couple of showers all the way over towards Louisiana and the Gulf, but nothing overly impacting us right now here in the state of Florida. As we work into the next couple of days, we'll see some clouds start to work their way into the west. Then we'll see that band of showers and storms come through Saturday. Another round coming Sunday. It's going to be more western parts of the Panhandle. Most of it will break up by the time it gets to the capital region. And then as we work our way further down the state, some areas like West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale might see that increase in rain chances as we go late into the day, Sunday. So right now, as we're going out and about tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit of a cooler start, 65 over in Jacksonville, 63 in Gainesville. As we work our way further down the I-95 corridor, upper 60s all the way down to 75 degrees over in Key West. But as we work our way into the afternoon, that oppressive heat returns, 92 in Orlando, 93 in Jacksonville. A couple of relief spots might be the beach, but the further inland you go, you're not getting that sea breeze to keep you nice and comfortable. By Sunday morning, a little bit warmer of a start than Saturday, but still comfortable temperatures out the door, but that heat returns. But we finally start to work our way in, at least on the backside of that rain. Even if you don't get any, it's going to at least be a little more comfortable. So as we work into the weekend in Miami, you'll notice the temperatures are just going to be doggone hot because they're not going to get that rain chance until later in the day, Monday, 88 degrees by then. And then as we work our way over to Jacksonville, our temperatures are actually going to cool off a little quicker. By Monday, high of 67 degrees because we're going to be working in that rain chance Sunday into Monday. But before it gets better, we do have 93 degrees on Saturday. Over in Tampa, it's going to be hot tomorrow, hot Sunday. Then a little bit of relief comes in on Monday. Over in Pensacola, 79 degrees. Just a nice time to be out at the beach. But Sunday, we do have that rain chance. Now, Matt, taking a look at the rest of the southeast, how are we looking?
Yeah, so as we look at the rest of the southeast here in Atlanta, Georgia, we're looking pretty good. New Orleans as well. Huntsville, Alabama, we're looking great as well. And in Charleston, South Carolina, we're also looking around that mid-80 range. As we go to the rest of the southeast, as you can see, the southeast regions are a little bit hotter than the rest in that mid-80s area. But as you go out towards Little Rock, you're going to enter the 60s as that cold front right now is starting to push through that area. As we look at the dew points here, it's looking pretty muggy down there in New Orleans, upper mid-60s right here in Montgomery and Jacksonville, but up near the northern areas, you have those smaller dew points. So it's looking pretty good elsewhere, but a little muggy right now. If we look outside, there's some stray storms out here in Montgomery area, and right above me in Charlotte, we have a warning right now as there are some storms blowing in right now. But as we continue to look here at the radar, as the storms blow in on Saturday, as you're going to see, this cold front is going to approach from the west and come across into Sunday. You're going to see storms come through the southeast and continue to push through as they're going to come all the way across the southeast and go towards Charleston and that east coast. If we continue to look at it, at the rain chance, you're going to see a lot of rain out in the western regions in that Little Rock and Shreveport area, and also down here in Montgomery and Charleston, but most of it is going to miss the Panhandle, unfortunately, as we will not get any rain or maybe a little bit of that rain, but most of these storms will be in these southern areas in Alabama and Mississippi. And we continue to look at the temperatures right now as we go into Saturday. It's going to be looking at the 60s overall in those northern areas. You're going to have that rain as that cold front is going to be pushing through this way, and it's going to allow them to have some colder temps as we continue to push into Saturday night and afternoon. It's going to warm up. The hotter temperatures will be in the southeast area, while the colder temperatures and that rain will be in the northwest area as that cold front pushes through. And then we continue into Sunday morning. Most of these areas will be experiencing the rain as that cold front continues to push through, bringing colder temperatures as well as that rain. And as we go into Sunday afternoon, that cold front will continue to push east and will continue to bring rain to those eastern areas, while the western areas will start to see some sunlight but will be cooled down quite a bit. And as we continue, we look at Charleston here. You can see a little bit of a chance tomorrow. They're going to be at 91, but a significant drop off in the temperatures as the rain rolls in on Sunday. Atlanta will have something similar here as the rain will push through Sunday, dropping the temperature 16 degrees. So make sure to have those jackets on Sunday and Monday, as it will be rainy Sunday and a little bit colder on Monday. Huntsville will be looking similar here as the rain will push through on Sunday. Not as much of a chance, but the temperatures was pretty stable. So it will be nice if you go outside on Monday, as there will be some sun, cooler temperatures, a great time to be outside. And New Orleans will be looking same as the rain will push through on Sunday. So stay indoors as it will be rainy. Chris, what does the national look like right now?
Thank you, Matthew. So taking a look at our temperatures right now, or actually, we're going to be checking out this low pressure system here. It is going to be bringing some of that rain specifically to portions of North and South Carolina. We actually do have some of that severe weather. We do have a 1 out of 5 marginal risk there. But for the plains, we have a high pressure system dominating much of the country there, but we do have some of that low pressure off towards the southwest there. And as far as our radar is concerned, you're going to see a few showers. You're going to see some stronger storms here off towards our southeast, as Matthew mentioned a little bit earlier. It does seem like portions of the Big Bend will actually be spared from some of that rain. But for our rainfall totals, we will see some heavier pockets of rain in parts of southern Texas there, and really throughout many portions of the southeast. Not as much precipitation specifically for the northeast there, maybe only about half an inch of rain there. And for our drought monitor, we are seeing some of those extreme conditions there, especially in areas of New Mexico. Definitely need some of that rainfall specifically for that area. Also a little bit of those dry conditions there in Iowa. But looking at our future temperatures here, we are going to cool off a little bit going into Saturday evening. In fact, we're actually going to see some of those sub-freezing temperatures there in the northeast. We're sitting at 32 degrees right here in Minneapolis and 26 degrees in Bismarck, Rapid City, and Billings. And looking at our weekend forecast for New York City, we'll be sitting at the upper 60s. It is going to cool down quite a bit going into Sunday. We're going to be at 59 degrees there. And we are going to warm just a little bit going into Monday. We're going to be at 62 degrees. And for our low temperatures, either side of 40. And here's a look at Minneapolis. We're going to be at 52 degrees there on Saturday. But fortunately, we are going to warm up quite a bit as we get into Sunday and Monday. But watch out for some rain on Monday. We're going to be at 66 degrees there. And for low temperatures, going to be sub-freezing on Saturday, getting into the high 30s and low 40s there going to Sunday and Monday. For Dallas, Texas, we're seeing that rainmaker there with a 90% chance of rain, sitting in the low 60s there. But we are going to start to warm up as that system does move on past and into the southeast there. And for Salt Lake City, Utah, sitting at 69 degrees there. It's going to be quite a bit warmer there on Sunday at 78. Then we'll cool back down to 71. But mostly sunny conditions, maybe a few passing clouds, but otherwise should be great weather for Salt Lake City. And Aaron, can you tell us a little bit more about what is going on back here locally?
That's right. We'll also kind of look at your forecast for this weekend as well if you have any weekend plans here. Los Angeles looking great here at 68 degrees on Saturday. But here we'll take a look at our airports first. So airport delays, none at the moment. Perhaps over near Washington here, Reagan National Airport here up in D.C. Perhaps a little bit of a delay, but for the most part, not too bad. The rest of the country staying nice and delay-free, so to speak. Airport forecast out of Tallahassee here, 88 degrees right now. That is a scorcher for this time of year, so make sure, I should say, if you're going to the airport, no need for any kind of a jacket now because 88 degrees and a little bit of a humid feel to the air as well. Tonight, 70 degrees as well, so again, no need for a jacket. No, pretty humid tonight, and weather delays are unlikely as we have the clear skies tonight, so it'll look really nice if you're flying out of Tallahassee. Tomorrow morning, perhaps there could be a few clouds in the mix tomorrow morning, but generally speaking, it should remain fairly nice, at least in the weather department here. 66 degrees with weather or with any delays unlikely. So great traveling forecast if you're going out of the airport tomorrow. If you're driving out of Tallahassee on I-10 or State Route 90 here, for the most part, should stay in the 60s up to near 80s, or I should say 87 degrees is where we'll probably top off tomorrow. Upper 80s for most of the region here, which is really hot, I might add too. Just kind of tells you that summer is definitely on its approach. But sunshine here to sunset. So great, I should say, sunshine from sunrise to sunset here tomorrow. So great time to travel if you're flying or on the roadways. Now, if you are going to go here, watch some Tiger Track Classic here at Auburn. 70 degrees at 9 a.m. It will go up into the upper 70s by the time we get in the afternoon, and then into the lower 70s by the time we get in the evening. Might have to perhaps watch out for those spotty showers here as you make your way up and down near Auburn, Alabama. If you're heading out to the beach on Saturday tomorrow, Panama City Beach, 50% sunshine, which means mostly sunny. I should say mostly sunny for much of the time here, but perhaps a few clouds intermittently here. Temperatures near 80 degrees. Winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Might be a pretty good cool down too, with temperatures almost approaching 90 by tomorrow as well. If you're not at the beach, perhaps go to Doak and you'll be able to go watch the Garnet and Gold Spring Showcase from spring football here. We'll be in the upper 80s here as we get into the later afternoon hours into the early evening with hit or miss sunshine here. So 86 by 5 p.m. and then 83 by the time we get into towards the end of the game. And if you're stargazing tonight, actually shouldn't be too bad here with clouds for the most part. Should start to break free, especially as we get later in the night. So if you're still out with your telescope, you might perhaps get the chance to see an 83% waxing gibbous under fair conditions. So might have to watch out for perhaps a couple clouds, but overall really nice. If you're going to church on Sunday, for the most part, should stay really well or should stay really nice outside. However, you might need to bring that umbrella if you're going to service later in the morning hours. So 11 a.m., perhaps a chance for some spotty showers or so, 75 degrees. If perhaps after service, you want to go out for your picnic on Sunday. Also might have to watch out for a couple of showers and storms as we will round out into the 80s again with some hit or miss showers and storms by the time we get into the afternoon, kind of bottoming out around 76 by the time we get into towards 6 p.m. Now, for the rest of the weekend, it should look really nice out across Tallahassee with almost approaching 90 degrees tomorrow. So as Peter said earlier, make sure you do have that sunscreen, as it definitely will be, might need it, especially if we're going out to Doak tomorrow. But we'll take things back over to the desk as we have a special guest here, Dr. Jake Carsons from Penn State. Welcome.
Good to be home. If y'all have not seen me before, well, maybe you weren't watching over the past 8 years from 2014 to 2022. It's good to be back in Tallahassee.
And Dr. Carsons has been a frequent fixture of FSU here, having had his master's. He also had his PhD here, and of course, he went to undergrad here.
Yep, I was a team leader on the FSU Weather Show way back 2016, 2017. It's something that I went into college and I had no idea or really no intention of ever going on television for a career, because everybody when I was in high school was like, oh, you're going to be the weatherman, and I thought to myself, there's so many other things I can do with this degree. But being at FSU Weather and the skills that gave me for public speaking, visual communication, really everything about storytelling that we do here was such a valuable resource now as I show you some of my research here.
That's right. And I actually here, I know you do a lot of tropical research. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I did that while I was at Florida State. I was Dr. Allison Wing's first student at FSU. What you're seeing on the screen there actually is some of the work that I did as a postdoc. And a postdoc is just basically a temporary research position, maybe for a couple of years or so, to kind of try new things, build up your skills a little bit more, and eventually train yourself for something bigger. And I'm hoping I'll be a professor soon. I wish I had the good news to share for you guys on this show, but not quite yet. What you're seeing here is actually rainfall in a hurricane in a climate model. So these climate models, they try to simulate the weather 100 years from now or something like that. And our computers have gotten a lot better, but to have that much, ability to look into the future, you got to sacrifice a little bit of the detail. So what you're seeing there is a bit of a pixely image of what rain might look like. And you think of a hurricane as this perfect circle with an eye, right? Right there, dead center. Maybe you expect this kind of symmetric circle of rain and wind. In reality, there's asymmetry. Where the heaviest rain is falling, where the strongest winds are, where the worst storm surge is. It happens in different parts of the storm. And one of the big reasons for that is wind shear. When we talk about that in hurricane forecasts, it's usually this weakening influence. But what it does is it kind of shifts things away from the center a little bit. So that's kind of what you're seeing here, this we call this tilt, this down shear push basically of the rainfall in one of these hurricanes. So I kind of look at what these models can do, how effectively they can resolve some of these nitty-gritty features, and maybe how we can use this to better look at how hurricanes might change in the future. Are they going to rain harder? Are they going to have stronger wind? Are there going to be more or less of them? There's a lot of questions that we're kind of looking at in the climate community in this space.
So, Dr. Carsons, what inspired you to go into this specific field of research?
Yeah, so honestly, being here for Hurricane Hermine, we were over in the Love Building covering that storm live. My first experience with a hurricane, it really was the driving force for me to kind of go into tropical meteorology for a career, and honestly, have a lot of lifelong friends along the way from that experience. So as challenging as it was fitting 12 of us into the old studio, you guys don't remember that at this point, so back in my day, that's really what pushed me. So, well, anyways, my turn. Bear with me here, y'all, because first of all, I'm sandwiched between two humans, so getting to the wall is going to be a bit of a challenge here, but it's been a couple years since I've been on this wall. I'm doing the Weather World show at Penn State now, and with that comes a bit of a different setup here, but I'm going to go ahead and chat about some of the climatological perspectives here, because over the past 31 days, as we go back from late March through the present here, much of our temperatures have been staying within a couple degrees of normal. But today, if you stepped outside, was maybe a bit of an anomaly here, and today was officially the first 90-degree day of 2024 here in Tallahassee, so running about 10 degrees above average, and actually just a couple degrees short of record territory here, and that's about an 82-year-long record that we've established for the state here, April 19th in Tallahassee. But as we go into the next few days, and as we've alluded to many times throughout this show here, cooler air working its way in. This is a future map of temperature anomalies, or how much the temperature is warmer or cooler than normal. And as we see, by the time we get already to the middle and late part of next week, things begin to equilibrate a bit. You see more of these greens and yellows indicating near average temperatures. But there was a big blob of blue coming into the Tallahassee area as we worked through Sunday and Monday here. Minimum temperature is not showing as much, albeit a very wide region of cold air in other parts of the southeast here as we go even into the day on, say, Monday and Tuesday, but not quite as much of that in terms of those bone-chilling low temperatures in the morning hours, for example, to look forward to next week. So the afternoon highs is maybe where we're going to be feeling that difference. But as we look even farther into the future here, the Climate Prediction Center from NOAA does these temperature outlooks for looking about a week or two into the future, and it seems as if we're looking at a warmer than normal period for parts of the plains, and a little bit more likely than not that we'll be running a bit above normal in the Tallahassee area as well, and that extends even further into the 8 to 14 day range, where we're looking at a real big blob of likely warmth. This is not the magnitude of the warmth, but the likelihood that we'll see above average temperatures in that time period. So those pinks, they're pretty confident that we'll see some pretty toasty conditions. As we look here, maybe I wasn't here for this, but you might have realized that big rainfall event that we had in the middle part of last week here. And so far, this is the rainiest April that we've had on record to this date in Tallahassee, with over about 3.5 times the normal precipitation here. So any idea of a drought in the Tallahassee area is pretty much a non-factor at this point. And when it comes to precipitation here, we're looking now around Tallahassee, looking like it's going to be pretty much a normal next couple of weeks here, although I'll note the interesting feature feature here as we start to work towards Central Plains severe weather season here in the early part of May that we're looking at above average precipitation. So could be looking at a potential in the long range for some possible severe activity off to our north and west. But as we, of course, finish up here and I hand things over to Ryan for our local forecast, it is looking like summer is right on the horizon after just one more weekend of chill.
It's slowly knocking on our door. Like if you were out and about today, you'd think, oh, it's summer. And really, we hit 90 degrees. We didn't get as hot as we would, say, mid-August. But we're slowly inching towards it. And after like a long period of cooler temperatures, now that we're hitting 89, 90 degrees, it's kind of a shock to the system. We're getting humid again. And not humidity-wise, we're not super humid, but dew point at about 61 degrees, 70 degrees over in St. Mark's. That humidity is just getting more and more uncomfortable and unbearable. Our local radar is nice and quiet right now. It is working, but it's nice and quiet. And that being said, we're still not in that summer pattern of rainfall with sea breeze storms coming in. Now, as we get into the weekend, we're going to have more and more storms go north of us. Hopefully, they'll stay more on the north end of the I-10 corridor, but the model is trying to bring a couple showers closer to that capital region and across the I-10 corridor. So, for rainfall estimates this weekend, we're not going to be looking at anything too crazy, at least in the panhandle of Florida. Really, where you're going to need to see higher precipitation values is going to be behind the banner up into southern Georgia and parts of Alabama. So as we move into the next overnight, it's going to be nice and clear tonight, 70 degrees, keep it with clouds around to keep us a little bit warmer. And as we head out the door tomorrow, you probably just need a t-shirt and shorts because really it's going to be cool to start, but those temps are going to climb quickly by 10 a.m., 73 degrees. And then by about lunchtime, 86, 87 degrees, kind of flirting with that 90-degree temperature range. Now, going out tomorrow, it's going to be about the same. We're going to have a little bit more clouds work our way in and very light breeze that you probably won't even notice. And it will be 70 degrees. So, again, you're going to want to maybe take that dip in the pool come Sunday. And we're going to have a good-looking forecast for it. We're going to have to keep an eye out for some scattered storms. Of course, if there's lightning around, you want to be out of the pool because the pool doesn't keep you safe. You want to be outside away from any tall structures. And when thunder roars, of course, go indoors. But 82 degrees, so if you do get that pocket of time to kind of take a dip in the pool, I would say maybe Saturday would be a better pool day, especially as we're working with high temperatures flirting with 90 degrees. But if you want to go into Sunday too, you could probably find a little bit of a time period between showers to get in the pool. 82 degrees by Sunday. So once we get through the weekend, our temperatures are going to dip down nice and comfortable. 58 degrees to start your Monday and your work week. 74 degrees for our high. And then kind of just hanging around the low 80s through midweek. 80 degrees on Tuesday, 84 degrees on Wednesday. As we get later into the week, 86 degrees on Thursday, 84 on Friday. But notice our rain chances have just kind of disappeared after Sunday. So we're starting to build our temperatures back up, but our summer pattern still isn't quite here yet. Now I'm going to throw things over to the desk, and we're going to take a look as we wrap up the show. We've had a lot to talk about. We've, of course, had Dr. Jake Carsons on. Great to have him back here in Tallahassee. Such a great FSU alum.
Oh yeah, I feel like I learned so much today about climatology, stuff that I just couldn't even fathom if I'm being real here. So, but it's just been a great time. It looks great outside. What are your plans for this weekend, Ryan?
This weekend I'm going to head down to Tampa, go see some Kenny Chesney, and then drive back up early Sunday morning.
Yeah, I mean, I might just have to go to that spring game, but I will be watching the Magic versus Cleveland Game 1. Magic are taking a dub. Magic in 6, baby. Let's go. But it should be a great weekend to be outside for anyone looking for outdoor plans.
Maybe head out to the pool deck and have the game on your phone, or on some pool decks have like a TV or something. Just throw the game on there.
Yeah, it should be a great time. There's a lot of sporting events to watch. It's going to be a great time to be outside, but watch for some of the storms Sunday. But it'll be a great week overall for those of us who are cramming for finals. It'll be a great week to be outside to study.
Yeah, if you're going out to Landis to study or just hanging around the house, it's going to be a great time, great temperatures, and we're finally getting rid of some of that heat. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather.
Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
Hopefully you're watching us live here on YouTube, and if not, or if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's free.
Follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
And then, of course, I guess we're on TikTok now, doing some TikTok dances, having a good time over there. But we're going to take one last look over at the wall as we wrap up our show.
Yeah, as we look across the national here, these northern areas are getting pretty cold temps right now, but the south areas are looking real good. Down here in Tallahassee, we're going to be sitting at 65 on Saturday, but as we continue rolling, it's going to heat up as we go into Saturday, 86 degrees for that spring game, so make sure to wear that sunscreen. It will be a hot day. I would not advise a jacket for the spring game, but elsewhere, it will be a little bit colder here in the Midwest and the northern areas. And as we continue into Sunday morning, it's going to dip down into the 30s in these northern areas and the 50s here down in the southeast. But here in Florida, we will be sitting at 65. And as we continue into Sunday afternoon, it'll heat back up. But as you can see, that cold front's going to push through here in the southeast, and it's going to bring rain and a little bit of colder temperatures. So as we continue to look at the week here, it's going to be really warm tomorrow, and then it is going to get cold due to the rain, and then it'll heat back up. Thank you for watching. It's been student meteorologist Matthew Wisnett. Have a good night.